Well, now at 4, here comes the rain again, and we've got several rounds before this wraps up. We have a severe potential and how much to expect in your forecast.
Also, tornado aftermath. We've got the massive cleanup effort underway right now in east central Indiana following 2 tornadoes.
And an IMPD update today on the ongoing spinning crackdown across the city of Indianapolis. Live from Indy this afternoon, you're watching 13 News at 4.
What a wild weekend of weather we've had. And you know what? It continues this afternoon on this first full day of fall. We're tracking it all for you. Thanks for joining us here on 13 News at 4. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan in this afternoon for Felicia Lawrence. Well, we have seen rain, severe storms, and even tornadoes come across central Indiana in just the last few days. And right now, we're watching what is proving to be a pretty active radar situation right now. Our meteorologist, Sean Ash, is on top of it and tracking it for us.
Yeah, and look, right off the bat, what we have right now, just rain,
okay.
But we are going to see some thunderstorms tonight. We're going to see some more tomorrow. We want folks to kind of be aware of that. We have impactful stuff to go through. Here it is, downtown now. The raindrops are starting to return as expected. You can see it filling in. Haven't had any lightning, and I don't expect a whole lot. I'm not going to completely rule out a few rumbles of thunder, but a lot of this is just going to be some much needed rain in central Indiana. Humid temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s at this hour. Future Track 13 with that batch. Here comes another round this late evening overnight. And then I do want to point your attention to tomorrow. We'll see how much storm action we have in the morning. Should have a little quiet time. And then tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. I know it's a low risk, but some of these storms later Tuesday could rotate. We want you to be aware of that. Impactful thunderstorms. How much more rain we're expecting, we'll detail that coming up in a few minutes.
We'll see you then, Sean.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cleanup is underway today after last night's storms in east central Indiana.
A lot of damage left behind, and we want to show you some of the video that was taken across the area. This is last night taken by Sam and Abby. They say they saw the tornadoes as they were driving along I-69 near State Road 332 northeast of Indianapolis in Muncie. This other video is also from a 13 News viewer. This is showing a funnel cloud over Yorktown. Again, those storms causing chaos in several counties, including Delaware and Jay counties today. That's where our Norca picks up our coverage.
As soon as the sun rose this morning, dozens made their way here to the American Legion Post 211 to see the aftermath of the storm. Many told me they are grateful no one was hurt, but heartbroken by the damage.
Lost that up. Got it.
These veterans stood tall as they folded the American flag that ripped in Sunday's storms.
Yeah, they know it hurts. Yes, I am emotional. I've got a lot of years in here, and
Commander Butch Michaud is still in shock. Like many, he tells me there was little to no warning before a tornado tore through Jay County, leaving massive destruction in the town of Portland.
All my Halloween decorations started flying, so I had to go out and get it. But I didn't even hear the siren until afterwards. It had already been through.
From Jay County Junior Senior High School to the homes on Main Street and right back here to the American Legion, where the roof is now on the ground. This 13 drone video shows just how extensive the damage is all around the building. Mayor Jeff Westlake says it could have been worse, but there is a silver lining.
I'm blessed. This community is a blessing. I mean, we've been really lucky that something more major didn't happen.
And as they assess the damage and clean up,
Hopefully everything can be rebuilt. But we ain't lost no life. That's the main thing.
they vow to pull together.
I'm gonna clip this one here.
And stand strong.
Yeah, there we go.
Reporting in Jay County, Sia New Yorker, 13 News.
All right, and part of the concern about these storms was that they came with little to no warning.
Yeah, they popped up fast.
Yeah, and sometimes we hear that and we're like, oh, we actually had one. In this case, it's applicable here, and we're going to explain why. It doesn't happen often that we have what I call a meteorological accident, but yesterday was a textbook case of that. So we got to begin with how the radar works. And so the radar sends out a beam. It will hit a thunderstorm or raindrops. That will send information back to the radar. Now, because the Earth is curved, as you go away from the radar site, we lose a lot of the information that's really near the surface, and that is key. So let's talk about the difference between a classic tornado, when you have a severe thunderstorm, you got the thunder and lightning, you got this rotation that usually begins in the middle part of the storm. It's called a mesocyclone. So the radar beam can see that aloft, and it points our attention to focus on something that could be happening toward the ground. What happened yesterday, at least with the one in Delaware County, is something that we call a Landspout tornado. That comes with a shower. There's very little circulation in the middle layers of the atmosphere. It's all toward the ground. Radar beam has a tough time picking that up. Now, Sam and Abby were able to pick it up with their camera yesterday, but again, right here, the radar just not seeing that. So why no warning? It's because of that very shallow rotation that was mostly under the radar beam. Quick forming, quick dissipating, highly localized event. We had a little bit of rotation, but nothing as a radar operator that probably would have said we issue a tornado warning for this. And by the time the radar operators saw the debris from the tornado and Kamak, it was already off the ground. This thing was on the ground for less than 1 minute. So quick touchdown. Now the one in Jay County was on the ground a little bit longer, 6 minutes. Coming up a little bit, we'll kind of show you some detailed radar analysis on the Jay County system and also get you ready for an eventful 7-day forecast here in a few minutes.
Okay, well, that is really interesting. I've never heard of that
Very
before.
good explainer. Thank you so much, Sean, for breaking that down for us. Well, cleanup after these storms is also underway right now to the north in Howard County. That's where an elementary school was hit by a powerful straight line wind system that came through back on Friday night.
Samantha Johnson spent the day in Kokomo. She's live this afternoon. They're saying they've got a lot of work to do. Are they still on track to reopen tomorrow?
Yeah, still a lot of work, but still on track to reopen to students tomorrow. No students today, and you can see why. Just taking a look around me, most of the roof from this elementary school now spread out across this grass here. And on the far side, you can see part of this roof is still covered with tires. That's actually the gymnasium here at the elementary school. I also want to show you a look inside the school. We spent a lot of time today with Mrs. Rosie Gowdy. She's one of several teachers who actually had to move rooms because her room was in the path of the damage here. She showed us where the rain poured into the school. In all, we know at least half a dozen classrooms were impacted, and school officials say they are still assessing whether they'll be able to save the gymnasium floor. But Mrs. Gowdy says the priority here is getting students back in the classroom safely, which will happen tomorrow.
And this is what we do. We all pitch in, we all work together. Kids come first, and we make sure that we meet their needs. Whatever they need, we're here for them, and we're ready to be here for them tomorrow morning.
All right, so how did they pull this off? Well, the school actually had a few vacant classrooms already, and then some of the other smaller classes are combining for now. So it was an all hands on deck situation this morning to get those teachers into their new classrooms. We know the principal and the assistant principal, they're even sharing offices for now. It is really all hands on deck. I do want to tell you too, Mrs. Gowdy, she was actually here Friday evening when those storms rolled through. She was the only teacher in the building. She'll walk you through what she heard, what she saw. Still ahead tonight on 13 News at 5:30.
Glad she's okay, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Well, since more rain is expected this week, a reminder that we want to make sure that you are prepared with this, the 13 weather app. It gives you live up-to-date radar right where you are. It's a free download. You can find it in your phone's app store. Why don't you go get it right now?
We're now about 3 weeks away from the Delphi murders trial, and today the defense team made a new request to the judge.
They want jurors to see and walk the area where the two girls were murdered during the trial. Now, today they asked the judge to have the jurors visit the Monon High Bridge and a nearby trail. They want jurors to see the woods where the bodies were found, the area where one of the girls recorded a man on her phone saying the words "down the hill." Now, the suspect in the case, Richard Allen, has admitted to being in the area that day, and the defense want jurors to see where he supposedly parked. Allen's attorneys also asked that he be allowed to go along on that visit with the panel.
Yeah, he's accused of murdering Abby Williams and Libby German back in February of 2017. To check out the details of this request and all the other recent filings, follow this QR code on your screen, or you can head to WTHR.com/Delphi. 7 people were arrested this weekend in connection to street takeovers and spinning.
So these actions come after IMPD said that they were cracking down on the takeovers last week. Tonight, our Anna Chalker shows us how police caught the people in this weekend's incidents.
A lot of those street takeovers from over the weekend started here at the Washington Square Mall. I'm standing in the center of several tire marks from those takeovers, and police tell us at least one of those were caught by an Indiana State Police helicopter.
According to court documents, a helicopter was surveying the southeast part of the parking lot Saturday when a pilot noticed a green Pontiac Firebird spinning. Once the car left the parking lot, police arrested the driver down the road on East Washington Street.
That helicopter is an invaluable tool, not only because of their speed and their ability to track vehicles, but to just get a bigger picture of what's happening. They allow us to approach these scenes safer.
This was just one of 7 arrests this weekend. With the help from state police, IMPD also issued 1 summons, towed at least 4 cars, seized 2 guns, and issued 40 tickets. In Indianapolis, Anna Chalker, 13 News.
Anna, thank you. And coming up at 5, Anna's going to explain a city-county council proposal being presented tonight. It's aimed at giving police more power to fine people and impound cars when officers catch a driver involved in a street takeover. Again, that's coming up tonight at 5 o'clock. A big check for a rare appearance. How much former First Lady Melania Trump was paid to speak at a log cabin Republican event.
He's never been violent to anybody. I just don't want this to happen to somebody else.
The family of a Jasper County man is demanding answers after a 911 call for help ended in tragedy. Sean?
Hey, Dustin, we've got rain, we've got thunderstorms, more of them, several rounds, and a potentially busy weekend as well. All coming up, 7-day forecast.